become emerald, sapphires, diamond. Oh, thank you. So anyway, these are not normal like calls. These are turn your camera on. Let's do this. Let's get our notepads out. Let's take these serious and let's grow together. Take some notes, ask some questions at the end. Like we are all here to just grow together. Um, okay, do we have any brand new golds on? I know we had a few on our team, but I'm not sure if they were all able to hop on or not. So if you are a brand new gold, let me see if
brand new gold, or if you re-ranked gold, or if you grew by 100 points, like shout yourself out. We want to know.
got 2 new senior golds. Yeah, for sure. Okay. I'm sure they're being shot in the comments. Okay. Is Lydia on here? Where are you at?
Hi, I'm here. Sorry, I'm
What
like in
up?
the dark right now.
She's really cute in person, even though her screen is black.
I see Melissa. She just went gold. She almost double ranked and went senior gold, but she will do that this month. She's on here. So fun.
Okay, Joanna, I'll mute myself so you can start us out.
Like hearing his baby noises. It's cute. Okay, I'm gonna screen share and then we're gonna get started. This is gonna be such a fun call.
Hey, Joanna, will you introduce us to, for those of us that don't know who we are?
Introduce us three. Yeah. Hang on one sec. Let me open this up. So present. Okay. Yeah, so we connected what, like 7 years ago, right? 2017, 6 years ago. As power partners, we are all senior golds, new senior golds. So right around where a lot of you are. So when we connected, didn't know each other at all, had never met in person, connected online, and just like ran together to Jewel. We all have different personalities. We're all like different Enneagrams, but we just all collaborated, had a very strong, we all wanted to go to the top. We all had grit. We knew what we weren't ever going to quit. And so that is what I feel like helped us be a good power partnership. And here we are. So we're all moms, wives, you know, in the thick of things. My husband's at work right now, actually, and usually he's at work when I'm doing calls like this. Like we all have crazy busy things, just like everyone. There's nothing special about us. So thank you for hopping on, because we really value your time, and without you all, we would not be here. So okay, we're going to chat a little bit on duplication, because I know that's like, I mean, that's one of the pillars, right? Duplication. We all like feel like we want to be duplicating, and sometimes it can feel like, oh my word, like it seems so hard sometimes, or like elusive, or like, am I doing the right things? And so we just decided we're going to all share real life examples, each of us, of something, of a person like recently that we have helped them either add one, go silver, like duplicate with, how we did it, like what we said. We're just going to walk you through that. And then we were all chatting as we were like making these slides and talking about just how many we had, like silvers we had made this year. Emily was like, how many silvers have you created? And I was like, oh man, I don't even want to look, because like I know it has not been a ton. And went back and looked, and I had developed 5 this whole entire year. One of those actually was a level 2 though, that had taprooted. And out of 5 of those, 3 of them don't order or do anything now. One of those 3 had fast started gold, like she added 17 people in 1 month and then nothing. And so out of all those 5, 2 of them are still currently ordering and working. And so I don't know if that is encouraging, but we were talking about like just wanting this to be like real life. It can be hard sometimes to duplicate. Even when you do duplicate, they're not always going to stick around, but you can still make it to Jewel. I promise. When people quit, we have people quit all the time. So really, this is what we're going to walk you all through when you see our examples of, like, it's so simple. Like we did not overcomplicate it. And each of us are going to share in a different way of how we did it, which I think is cool, because you don't have to do it in exactly perfect way. you just have to like get in action and do things. And then sometimes they work out and you duplicate. But if you're not doing anything and just sitting there, you for sure won't duplicate. And so just a quick, it's like, be simple and clear, easy to follow, easy to duplicate down, because what you're doing right now with your new person, that's how they're learning. And so you want to do it in a way to where they could go do it with their person, and just make it so simple. So right here is I'm going to share with my newest girl. I'm so excited about. I know she'll be on this call someday. She's just so fun. So I wanted to start back before I even signed her up, because obviously if you don't sign someone up, you can't duplicate, right? I mean, duh. So recruiting is so important. And this person I did not know from Adam. I actually signed up her sister, like, I don't even remember, this year sometime. I signed up her sister. I met her sister in a police wives group. So I don't even know her sister really either, like in person, just from online. But I signed up her sister, and when I signed her up, I asked her, I was like, hey, do you have anyone in mind who could do this with you? Because I'd love to send them some samples. And so she's like, yeah, my sister actually might want to try it. And so she gave me her sister's address. I sent her sister samples, and her sister is the one that I'm going to be sharing about. And so you can see right up on the left here at the top, I'm going to make, oh, I think I accidentally, did I not put, I meant to put a different one there. Oh, well. Anyway, I followed up with her sister after I sent her the samples. And this is what she said. She was like, hey, you basically, no thanks, I'm going to try this coffee thing. I was like, okay, that's totally fine. And then with Black Friday, I actually almost did not follow up with her because I didn't really know her at all. I was like, she's trying this coffee thing. I mean, chances are she's not even going to want to do it. So I almost did not, but I was like, yeah, I'll just throw one out there. And I just did like that 2-liner. And she responded like right away, well, you can see in like 30 minutes. It was like, yeah, that coffee is crap. Like, I can't do it, but like, tell me what's available. So we chatted about her health goals, and she signed up so quickly. And she has had the most incredible changes with her health. Like, I feel like every single day she's messaging me about a change. And it's so fun. She's lost like 16 pounds already. Because she started off with the reset, and then she went into the triplex combo. But I just wanted to start it off by saying, like, if I hadn't followed up with her, she would not be my person that I'm helping go silver and like my new business builder. So anyway, there's that. But okay, so here on the right side, I wrote down a few tips of like what I did with her that helped her want to share. She did not start it to like do the business. She didn't say anything about sharing at all. Like, she just wanted to try it. And so down here at the bottom, so I didn't put this example on this, it's in my phone somewhere, but before this like screenshot here, I had asked her when she was brand new, I had asked her if I was like, hey, you could earn $300 if 3 friends do this with you. Do you have anyone in mind who'd want to get healthy with you? And she didn't answer my question at all. Like, she went into something else. And so we chatted about whatever it was that she messaged me back with. But when she started having results, then, so like, that's when I brought it back up. But I feel like what really helped with, helping her just be excited and like have better results, I sent a thank you note in the mail, handwritten thank you note, and a hand frother. Especially with the reset, it's just so much easier. You can like mix up the drinks a lot easier, and let her know that a frother was coming in the mail for her. And then I made her messages my priority. So like, if I saw that she messaged me, like, I was going to message back quickly. And just because I wanted to be really encouraging. And like, I know the 3-day reset, it can be really hard. In my opinion, some of y'all can breeze through it, but it's hard for me. And so I knew that, and I wanted to make sure I knew when she was going to start, what her plan was, if she was going to do, because some people are doing like 1 day a week of reset, and some are doing all 3 days in a row. And so I wanted to make sure I knew what her plan was. Because if I knew the day she was starting, I could be checking in each day. I think that's really important, because I like to, like, day one, I like to be like, okay, yay, you got this. Day 2, then it's like, oh, you're halfway, when it's around noontime, like, you're doing, how's it going? Like, I just like to be really, really excited for them. She was like, that tomato soup is disgusting, I can't do it. And I was like, and I like giving her tips. And so she stuck with it and she had amazing results. So I think just like being overly excited, like sending a GIF, like cheering her on made a huge difference. I reminded her to take before and after pictures, because then when she was like, oh my goodness, like this is happening, I was like, okay, well, would you like make a post? And you can see, I was like, oh, I thought I put it on here. I don't even know what I did, you guys. But I asked her, I was like, okay, but would you totally make a post? And this is exactly what you could say. And I wrote out a post for her with exactly her words. I just like created a post because she was like, this happened, this happened, this happened. And so I just made a post from what she had said. I was like, hey, would you post this? And then she was like, yeah, I posted it. Thanks for the copy paste. And I was like, oh my goodness, I just used what you said. Can you tag me? Because she didn't tag me. And she used her pictures that she had taken, because I reminded her, go take some pictures before. I promise you're going to want them. No one likes taking before pictures, but I promise you'll be glad you did, that kind of thing. Let's see. So then I helped her make a post. And then after I helped her make a post, then I was like, okay, well, if you have anyone interested, this is exactly what you can do. Like, you don't have to worry about what to say. Just throw me in a 3 chat. Just say, hey, so-and-so, this is my friend Joanna, like I'm brand new at this, and she can help you know, like all the things and help you get started. And so that's what she did. She put me in 3 3-way chats from her post, and one of them signed up so far. And then what I did is I created a cart link for her, and I screen recorded it as I made it and sent it to her, because I was like, hey, I'll make your first cart link because, you know, you're brand new. But here's a screen share that shows you exactly what I did. It's so simple, so you can do it next time. And it was like a minute-long screen share, sent it over to her. And like 2 days ago, she was like, hey, my sister's going to sign up when she gets paid. And I already sent her a cart. And I was like, oh, yes. So I had showed her already how to make a cart, made it like super simple. Now she knows how to do that on her own.
Hey, Joanna,
Yeah.
can I add something really quick?
Yeah.
Y'all may know you could do this, but if you're FaceTiming someone, you can actually screen share your screen with them while you're FaceTiming and do it that way too. I've been doing that a lot lately. It's just like clicking FaceTime and then just showing them on FaceTime. So anyway, pro tip. Actually, it's not a pro tip. It's just a tip.
Yeah, I didn't know that. So that's good to know. And then, okay, yeah, so that's that. And then what we did is after, I mean, because she's so new, like she signed up with the Black Friday specials November 20th, I think, did reset right away, got results, went into the gut health combo. And then this has been like a progression of like, oh, you see results, will you make a post? She made a post, okay, like throw people in 3-way chats with me. And then she did that. And like I feel like every day she's messaging me something. And so then I'll be like, so for this example on the left here, she was like telling how she was at work and she noticed her feet like weren't falling asleep like they used to. And I was like, okay, post time. Like for real, it's such a huge deal. Like I'm just cheering on like all those non-skill victories, like overly like being overly excited. And then I sent her voice text asking if she wanted to do an event. Because at this point, that was Wednesday, what's day, Thursday? So yesterday, by this point, like I knew she was interested in like making like that initial like referral bonus of like adding 3 people, but I didn't know as far as like what she was wanting besides like after that. So we set up an event, a date for her event. And then I did a little vision casting because I kind of wanted to see like what she was thinking. And I just sent her a quick voice text of like, hey, like when I was like, I started when I was brand, like when I started, I did it just to get healthy, just like you. And then I was like, wow, these products work, which you totally know that you're having amazing results. And was like, okay, like what if I could do this? What if I could bring in some extra money? So I kind of just like shared like my story in like just briefly, like 2 minutes. And sent her the ambassador income thing and I asked her, I was like, tell me like if you could be earning this, like maybe you're wanting to just get your products paid for and that's it, and that's totally fine, but let me know if one of these income amounts would be a huge blessing for your family. Like I know she's a single mom, and that was one of the things when she started, like she talked about how her budget was tight, single mom, and so I know it could be a huge blessing for her. And so she messaged me back and was like, basically, yes, like she is really interested in doing, you know, earning more than just the initial 3. And then at that point, I added her to my team page. And I told her that I was going to tag her in a video I had made about a dream board. I shared like my story of how I had found my old dream board and things that come true. But I did that specifically because she told me one of her like groceries are so expensive. And like, yes, I would love to be able to afford like better quality food for my kids was one of the things that she shared. And so I actually had on my dream board like organic groceries when I first made it back way a long time ago. And so I was like, hey, I actually put that on my dream board. I'm going to go tag you, and tagged her. And it was like, you should make a dream board. And so I think just like being super excited for them, like stepping her through it, like little steps at a time, not all at once, and then vision casting to kind of see where she was at. And I'm really excited. I think she'll be at convention, I hope, and we'll see where it goes. But next up, Jordan's going to.
Hey guys. Okay, so I'll share my numbers really quickly. I last year or this year so far, I've helped 7 people go silver. Out of those 7, 4 went senior silver. Out of those 4, 2 went gold, and out of those 2, 1 has gone senior gold so far. Stephanie is on this call. She will be senior gold in the next 90 days. I have no doubt. Shout out Stephanie. I know you're on here now, so I didn't get to shout you out at the beginning, so now I get to. Anyway, I say that, but y'all, that was a lot of intention for me. I had a really big goal of being emerald this year. We haven't hit emerald, but we did go ruby, which was really exciting. And anyway, so there's my spread. I want to specifically bring up this message because I was actually on the phone with Rebecca today. This is her, and she's cute. I had no idea. She said she's up for the challenge. I know you are. I got you. I had no idea ever that she would ever do this business. We went to church together for years in Arkansas. Didn't like I gave her samples. She told me she didn't want any of it. Like it wasn't, I had no idea. And then we moved. And then she commented on a giveaway post. And so I was like, I guess I'll try again. Hey, are you sure you want some of this? And she was like, sure. Tell me how much it is. And I'm gonna play. Is it okay if I play that voice message to you guys so you can hear how I asked her if she wants to do the business? This was before she had even signed up. Emily, I can see you. Will you just give me a thumbs up if you can hear this? Okay. I definitely had you on my reminders to get with it tonight, so I'm glad you got me first. Probably hear my family in the background because there's a lot of us. You know this. We're not quiet people. Anyway, I need to go double check on my codes for the beginning of this month. I know I had codes for the first 5 days. And I want to say it is like right at 100, 110. I think it's 110. Yes. And then obviously you'd get me coaching you. And if at any point you're like, yeah, I'd really like to get my products paid for. I don't want a business. I just want to get them paid for. Like I can totally show you that really fast. My mom and sister haven't paid for the products in like 7 years, and they don't do a business. So anyway, okay. So I sent her that, and she said, sure, I would love to do that. And now she is fast start senior gold. Does this happen all the time? No, you have to send lots of those messages to get the few people who will say yes. And then when you get the yeses, then you'll get a few people that will go silver. And then when you get the few people that'll go silver, a few of those will do more. Y'all, this at the end of the day is a numbers game. In this business, it is a numbers game. So anyway, we'll forward that to y'all. So I wanted to share this with y'all. I wanted y'all to actually hear how I say it. And you can't just say that message to one person. You want to do the next one, Joanna? All right, here's the other thing that I really feel helps people get the results that I know that they want, that they might be scared to get. I do not tiptoe. I am yelling at my friend here in this first one because she told me she hasn't taken her supplements in a few days and she also wants to go silver. And I'm like, no. You need to go do your stuff. So you guys don't just tiptoe because you're afraid they're going to go away or you're afraid you're going to hurt their feelings. You're going to hurt them more if you don't help them get the results. that they want. They're going to quit if they don't get the results they want. They're not going to quit if you help them get the thing. Okay. So there's don't tiptoe. The other one, this is a girl, actually, she's not on this call yet. She's not gold yet. She went senior silver last month, and at the end of the month, she was like, I'm not sure where else to go. Anybody else get those messages? If you have somebody that wants to hit a rank or wants to go silver, and they're like, I'm not sure what else to do. I'm not sure who else to message. Okay, cool. Have you posted yet today? Nope. Okay, great. And I sent her I sent her a couple post examples, and I said, tag me as soon as you do. And so, y'all, do not tiptoe. If they want a goal, help them clear the fear so that they can get creative and go do the thing that they need to be doing. There's always going to be something that's going to try and stop them. And I don't know about y'all, but like, I mean, it still happens to me. There's things that try and steal my joy all the time. And I didn't have the belief back then that I do now, this rock solid, I'm not going anywhere belief. And so you have to let them siphon that off of you. You have to let that belief drip onto them, knowing that there's always a next step. Nothing is ever too hard. Anyway, will you go to the next one, Joanna? It kind of flows into the next one. And the next step to that is to be their chief encourager. You see these GIFs? I say GIFs. I don't know. It might be GIFs, whatever. I say GIFs. I'm also old. So, but I love encouraging people because I really believe anyone can be diamond. I really believe that anyone can do what I do. I just believe that fear and Satan gets in the way sometimes. And so just GIFs, y'all, sometimes it might just be calling them because you know that their friend, you already saw it in the virtual office. You saw that the first person they signed just turned their sub off. Okay, call the girl and be like, hey, listen, somebody just turned their sub off. It's totally okay. I got a plan. Let's do this together. Okay. So help them get through those scary things with you. Don't be afraid of them. And then be their chief encourager. That looks like posting whenever they hit a new rank, posting whenever they hit even if it's a small goal. Maybe it's posting on your team page that they just did their first reach out message. Welcoming them on the team page. Y'all be their chief encourager. And I actually heard a sermon on that one time, and that's where I got the chief encourager title because they were talking about that in our walk of our faith walk. But anyway, be their chief encourager. That's what I got.
Hi, everybody. Yes, I don't know if you guys saw that at the very beginning, the keep it simple, because when you confuse, you lose. So that little, my name's Emily, that little very first screen that Joanna talked about, that's actually from Melanie Mitro. She is like a top dog leader. She's like Celeste Gwynn times a million with Beachbody, and I'm doing a training under her. And that's what she was talking about as I was listening to her onboarding training. And she was saying, like, with onboarding, you have to keep it simple and clear. You have to keep it easy, and you have to keep it duplicatable. So if it's okay with you guys, I am going to walk you guys through just dialogue of what I have recently been doing with one of my newest girls who is about to go silver. Because I think for me, that was really important. Like, I understand the concept of I need to duplicate, and I understand I need to like get them to post, and I need to do those things, but how do I do them? So if you guys don't mind, I'm going to walk you guys through just dialogue of what I have done with this newest girl. And I'm going to say too, we have a very strong diamond business with my team. We have a very strong team. We've not had issues with re-ranking since we went Emerald. So we've always like re-ranked every month, which is a really big deal. We've got a lot of strong leaders on our team. And I say that because I want you to know, like, duplication is still really hard for me. And I think it's hard for a lot of people. And so I just want to encourage you, if you're sitting here on this call and you're like, oh, well, like Jordan can do it so fun with those GIFs and, you know, being like really fun and chummy. And Joanna's really good at like being creative at sending these, you know, ideas and examples. And maybe I'm just not good at this. Like, maybe I'm just not good at this. I just want you to know that whenever I asked Jordan and Joanna how many silvers they had duplicated this year, and they gave their numbers, I was like, oh my gosh, because you kind of want like them to be at the same speed as you. And they were like, definitely not at the same speed as me. because I've only duplicated 1 silver this year. And my goal for the year was to duplicate 6. And I think there are a couple of reasons as to why I didn't, but I think one of the biggest reasons is that I lost focus on that. I think I honestly was kind of floating. I think I kind of have been in management mode of wanting to like serve my team and just kind of, connect with people. And I've just lost sight of the duplication. I think also, Jordan, are you going to say something?
Well, I also want to add, I don't know, a lot of y'all may know this, but Emily is on our company's advisory board, which is a huge honor. And I don't think she was going to say this, but I'm going to say it. And that takes up hours of her week. And so I know just personally, as someone who does life with her often, um, I know that she didn't duplicate as much as she wanted to because her focus was on being one plexus this year to help company things. So anyway, I had to.
Thank you for saying that. You're very kind. But honestly, too, though, it was like that was not a focus of mine. And so I don't know what I was saying before that. I don't know what I was saying, but I think that was a good reminder of, if you want to reach goals, you have to have a plan in place and you have to have a focus on it. And so for my team, since September, we have had this kind of this phrase, this saying of stop the float, start the focus. And so for me, my focus has been like, I have always posted about the business. I'm always inviting people to the business, but the place that I'm failing, or I have been failing, is I've not shown up with excellence to my customer care, and I've not shown up boldly with my customer care. And so that's where I started to shift my focus. And so I'm going to go through this dialogue. If you guys want to take screenshots, you can. I'll try to go really fast. But what I'm sharing here, this duplication is coming from just intentional customer care. So these people reached out to me. It's a married couple. They reached out to me in August. They wanted to get started on the products. I got them on the phone, got them signed up. And in that conversation, I was able to talk with them a tiny bit about the referral system because they both wanted to do it. Hey, if you put your spouse under you, you're going to make $36 that can go towards your your products. Is that something you'd want to do? Oh yeah, for sure. They want to do that. They want to get some money in their pockets. But I was able to utilize that conversation too. Okay, well, if you guys have great results and if you guys want to start sharing, who do you think out of the two of you would be the most likely to share? Okay, the husband. All right, well, we're going to put him first, then we're going to put the wife under you, and you're going to make $36. And the cool thing is that Plexus has some really good referral bonuses, and if you add a couple more, you'd make about $300. So you let me know if that's something that you're interested in. I think I said, well, I may have said, is that something you're interested in? And they were like, maybe later, as we kind of see how the products work. So that was my first step there. Then I was just super intentional, and I still am, but like, especially in the first month and a half, very intentional about getting connected with them, hearing how they were doing, being able, like, not being afraid of that. Cause I think for a long time I was afraid to check in on my customers. I would just like pray, I really hope they have a great experience. I hope nobody detoxes. I hope that they love this so much that they like become self-starters and become my next jewel. That's not being a business owner. That's just being lazy. And so I just was very intentional and trying to make a more excellent customer care experience for them, having fun with them, sending GIFs like Jordan was talking about. All of that stuff was starting to build this trust and credibility because people already are naturally a little skeptical with this stuff. So it was my job to build that trust. Then, just like Joanna, making sure that I showed my appreciation for them. There are $7 frothers on Amazon that I have my assistant send with a note to every single one of my new ambassadors or new customers. So sent them that, made sure that they were set up for resources and education. Go ahead, Joanna. So in short, got them on the phone, got money in their pocket firsthand, did intentional customer care, and showed appreciation and gave resources. Go ahead. So I'm going to walk through some dialogue real quick. So a month and a half after checking in on them, she sends me a message that she's having some really great results. So I send her a response. I can't get over your results in just a month and a half. What are your thoughts on sharing your experience on social and or with some friends to help them while getting some referral bonuses to offset your product costs? So what I address here is, I'm not just saying so that way you can get your products paid for. I don't think there's anything wrong with that, but I know they are in ministry, they are people, and I want to make sure that they're seeing, hey, you can help your friends and you're also able to get some referral bonuses. So that was really an important part of that conversation that I put in there, intentional in that. Husband says he's not been consistent enough to see results, so he's not quite ready to share. The wife says, I'm having really great results, but I'm doing my blood work. I want to, so she's still like a little hesitant because she wants to just, she's having some results, but she wants to have some for sure results on her lab work before she feels comfortable. So she wasn't quite ready. Go ahead, Joanna. So then about a month later, we're still talking quite a bit. A month later, she sends me a message and she says that she's almost down 30 pounds and that she's getting ready to go do that lab work that she was talking about. So 30 pounds. So I celebrate the heck out of that. That's amazing. Celebrate her. And then we had a conversation earlier about the bonus that her husband was getting because of her order, and she was kind of confused. So we were already having a little conversation about that. So I was letting her know, celebrating her, but then again, kind of casting a little vision, talking about her order and their bonus, and then saying, and also you ordering under your husband and or having a couple of friends order your husband, and that's going to give you some really massive referral bonuses. So kind of left it at that. Go ahead. So then she tells me, I've got quite a few people who've actually been noticing and asking me what I'm doing. But then she had some hesitation because there are a couple people in her town, in her small town, that already share Plexus. How many people do we have conversations with that all the time? There are already people who do this. So what I did was I took that objection and I just changed it up into a positive. And I said here, you guys are loved and respected and trusted. You are a walking billboard for the products working. The people in your town who also share Plexus are blessings because their belief adds value and credibility to you guys sharing. So I think that's important to really be listening to our customers and hearing that she's still got some hesitations. This is something that could potentially really hold her up. So I need to speak to this, not just skip over that. Go ahead. So in that same conversation, this is where the moneymaker happened. I felt like Jordan or Joanna because I hadn't ever really done this before. I think in the past, I'd always be like, hey, have you ever thought about sharing? Have you ever thought about sharing? But I've not ever really gone to that next step of actually writing out a post. And so in that same conversation that we were having, she's lost the 30 pounds. She's got people asking her about it. She's a little nervous because there are people in her town that are doing or selling already. So in that same conversation, I just typed up right here. I just typed up, and it is not my best work at all, but I just typed up if I were her and I was writing a first post. So what I wrote is, Cole and I made some decisions as a couple to get healthy together in August. We were tired of feeling sluggish, controlled by cravings, not fitting in our clothes, and being exhausted all day. I'm so excited to report that collectively we have lost, at this point, it was 40 pounds, and are seeing positive changes in our allergies, energy, sleep, and cravings. If you'd like to know what we found to work for us, let me know, and I'll send you some details. So I wrote that up on its own, and then I just said, how do you feel about posting something like this with a pic of you two? And she said, I'm open to it. She wanted to go talk to her husband. Well, then I went and took care of bedtime and bath and all that, and came back a couple hours later. Go ahead. And she sends me a message and she says, okay, I'm ready. I'm going to go ahead and post it. And by the time I saw it, she had already posted it, and it was 10 o'clock p.m. her time. And I was like, oh no, that wasn't the perfect time. Oh no, we should have waited. But then I went and looked, and she had so many people who had commented on it and so many people who had liked it. So that was really encouraging to me. And just a reminder, it doesn't have to be perfect. You just have to do it. And so what I did was, she made that post, and it was a before and after. She literally copied and posted what I had put, but added the 40. And so that goes back to what that Melanie Mitro was saying, is we've got to keep it simple. We've got to keep it easy. We've got to keep it duplicatable. So me writing that post, just like Joanna did, that was so good for her to just start. So then what I did from there, And I'm not a pro at this. Remember, I only duplicated 1 silver, but this has been helping, okay? So one step at a time, I helped her with her replies to her friends who were interested. So she would tell me, hey, Sally Joe, Michael Smith, all these people, they've been messaging me. I've been in conversations with them and I don't really know what to say. So I told her, take a screenshot of what your conversation has been and send it to me. And I'm going to help you like write a response. And I'm going to walk with you every step of the way. So that's what she did. And so just like Joanna said, like I was making her a priority because I knew this is a big deal. And she had like 130 different likes and loves and comments. And so I knew I couldn't be lazy and just hope she can figure it out on her own. I've got to put in that intentionality and that work. And so I typed up for her how I would respond to that person and said, hey, copy and paste this if this feels right, or put your own language to it, but this is how I would respond. And I think I had probably 20 to 30 different messages like that I was crafting for her. And side note, if you do that, what I would encourage you to do is take those messages and maybe put them away in like a Google Doc. So that way you have that as reference as you are duplicating down for future people. So I helped her with her replies. I showed her how to respond. Okay, so Sharon, I saw this girl. This is how I would respond to Darla. This is how I would respond to Katie. This is how I would respond to Michael. So she could see, or I would see, you know, like for somebody like Katie that says something like this is how I would respond in the comments. So I'm not just leaving it up to her to like figure it out. I'm helping her step by step. Then I got on a 3-way phone call because she had a guy who said, I'm ready. Like I've seen people for years share about Plexus, but when I saw that Sharon was sharing about this and I saw that Sharon had results, I'm like, okay, I'm ready. And so it actually was really easy to sign this gentleman and his wife. So in that very next day, we signed 2 people under her. But I share that because I think a lot of people, again, are like, oh, everybody knows about Plexus. Everybody and their brothers does it. I don't think anybody would be willing. Sharon be Sharon. That's right. I don't think people would do it with me, but that is not true. And this girl is a prime example of that. So I got on a 3-way phone call with them so that way she could hear how I was conducting that call, shared with him the referral. So it was just very cyclical, just exactly like I did with her and her husband whenever we signed them up in August. So now this graphic right here is I have this graphic for myself with my family because I like to sign my customers up. I feel like that's really great customer care. So I like to sign them up. And so it tells them on here, like, I need your email address, your birthday, your payment, all that stuff. And I just have personalized for me. Well, she was getting so much conversation going. I wanted to just personalize it for her. So I just did that extra little step and just put her family's pictures in there and like put her little name on there, thinking that that was a nice touch. And I think that meant a lot to her. But now she has that along with a couple of other, like the symptoms chart and the things that we utilize daily. She's getting those things from me slowly. And then I added her to my team page. I have not recognized her yet because we've not been able to have a phone call to kind of know what her goals are with Plexus. And I feel like when I've done that in the past and I've jumped the gun for people who are not interested, it kind of scares them off. So I will recognize her and her efforts once she and I get on the phone. Okay, go ahead, Joanna. We're almost done, you guys. Okay, so then she's made her post. She's signed a couple of people. So now we're into December. And you guys know it's double rank up month or double bonus rank up month. And so I wanted to make sure at the beginning of the month, she knew what that could be for her and her family. So I, in a conversation, just said, hey, and also just wanted to let you know, Plexus is doing this double bonus this month. And basically here's what that means. You need one more person to join with you. And with that, you will make this money here, which is a total of $270. So I'm telling her what the incentive is, and I'm breaking it down by saying, this is what you need. So like I'm giving her a goal and I'm telling her, this is what you would make with that if you got that goal. Then I ask in here because I go back to her page and I see that she's not made a post in like a week. And she's got so many people interested in. She had just shared with me her lab results from her 3-month blood work. So I said, can I make a suggestion or a tip for you in your social media? I think that's really important. I'm sorry this is taking a long time, but I think that that's really important to ask, like, hey, would you be open to this, rather than just giving her the information? Because I think that that like gauges her interest level. Like that also gauges like her sensitivity if she's in a place where she wants that help. And so look at what she said. She said, sure, I'm not good at any of this. So my very next step is to build my belief in her, because we all know this is a really scary thing to do. Like, it's not supernatural for a lot of us in the beginning. It's getting out of the comfort zone. And so my job, your job, is to build your belief into her, that you believe in her. Even if you've just started and you're a silver ambassador, you are the expert in this. And if you believe in her, she's going to come to the plate with a little bit more belief than the average Joe. So that's what I did here. I pour into her screenshot. I'm not going to read it, but I'm building her up, and I'm also normalizing that this takes time. Like, no one comes into this being super skilled in all the areas, that this takes time. And then I tell her, I'm just going to read this to you, this part here. The thing I see about you is that 1, you're joyful. 2, you're grateful. 3, you're positive and hopeful thinking, and that's reflective in your health changes. 4, you're coachable. Those are all really, really imperative qualities that I've seen in people who have been very successful here. So I am specifically telling her the things that I see in her, and I think that's so important. Then in the next little message I send her, I'm just asking her, like, I'd love to get on the phone or a Zoom call with you and just kind of hear what your goals are for your family, and if Plexus is maybe something that could help you with this. There's zero pressure, but I do want to know what you're thinking so I can support you in the best way possible. Would you be open to hopping on the phone with me the next week? Go ahead to the next one. And she said, yep, she would love to jump on the phone. And then she was open to the tip. So then in the tip, I just walk through just suggestions of like sharing a little bit more regularly. And then I give her a goal of saying, I'd love for you to post 2 personal posts this week. And then maybe at the end of the week, you can do a Plexus post. And by the way, here is a Plexus post that I typed up that you shared with me from your lab work. So I typed up another post example. So all she has to do is copy and paste it if that feels right to her, if that feels like her voice. And then I just said, or something like that. And she said, I love this idea. I've got this that I can post about. I've got this I can post about, and I'd be happy to get on the phone. So super, super open. Go ahead. And then I also invited her, maybe not in that same breath, but maybe the next day, I invited her to come and be on our team call and just sit on our team call. So that way she could kind of get a taste for our community, have her belief built. She said no. She said she couldn't do it because she already had something that night. And I did not get upset. I didn't think, woe is me. I've gone too far. I pushed her away. I didn't get any of those things. I just said, okay, awesome. Let's get in touch. I'll be in touch with you so we can schedule that phone call. Go ahead and go to the next one. And so what's the next step in this process? I think it's really important to just remember, like, what we're doing here is pretty cyclical. So like what you did to get to silver, what you did to get to gold is what you're helping your people do as well. You are taking it one step at a time. You're holding their hand. You're giving them ideas on what to post. You're like, the right time too. Like if I would have said, hey, do you want to post this? Like right when she started, it wouldn't have been the right time for her. And I knew that because of that customer care that I had. I was building that rapport with her. So you're going to know how to do it one step at a time at the speed and pace that's good for them, that they are wanting. So, building friendships, recognizing them, guiding them by your example. Because the thing is, if you're telling your person, hey, you need to be posting like this, and you're not, that's not credible. They're not going to do that. They need to see that you also are doing that. You've got to be the example for them. You've got to be sending out reach out messages and follow up messages because you're learning as you're doing those things. And then you can trickle that down to your people. And so I just have here this cyclical thing. You're helping them post, you're helping them with their communication, you're helping them with their training and their growth and their skill set, their mindset, their belief, and then you're helping them duplicate. It's just a simple cycle that takes intentionality and it takes time. And the thing is, we've shown you all here like really great examples. But again, I've had one silver this year. So it doesn't mean every single person, it works like this. Like not every single person is going to respond like Jordan's girl saying, yeah, I'd be up for a business. Like it doesn't always happen, but it won't happen if you don't ask. We can go to the last one. I think it's the last one. So Melanie Mitro, again, on that onboarding module that I listened to, she had a couple of quotes that I want to share with you guys because I think these are really, really important. One of the things that she says all of the time is imperfect action is better than perfect inaction. So be thinking about that when you're posting, when you're sending a message, when you're trying to help somebody, with conversation with the potential. Imperfect action is so much better than waiting for perfect that becomes inactive. The last thing she says that I think is really, really important for us all to hear. Some people will, some people won't, but the right people will stick it through. You can teach the right person all the wrong things and they will still succeed. You can teach the wrong person all of the right things and they're going to quit and they won't achieve their goals because they aren't the right person. It's not because of you, it's because of the individual. And I want to do one side note on this. On that last line, when I heard that, I was like, oh, I don't know if that feels right. But I think it does if you're actually like in the muck and mire working with them. If you are not actually leading and inviting and being an example, then yeah, that is on you. But if you are showing up and you are helping them, this is my opinion. I'm not Melanie Mitro, but that's my opinion, is that it's not because of you when you are helping and you're doing your best to like guide them and give them resources. I think that's all I have. Right? Yep. That was long, but if you guys need any of the screenshots from Joanna, Jordan, or myself, let me know and I can send those over to you guys. That's all I have. Anybody have questions? I know there was one question from Haley Branner.
Oh, about the samples?
Yeah.
I'm trying to remember what I sent her. I think I just sent her 3/6 of pink drink. And then I've sent her, I have like this cute, like little quote card from Janessa Waite. That's like five things. You know how Janessa Waite has all those like cute, like 5 things to make your day awesome or whatever. I have like quote cards of that. And so I stuck one in there and then like a little note of like, hey, I'm so excited for you to try these. And that was it. So nothing special at all. But I wanted to add on really quick too what Emily was saying about not everyone is like with this girl, with my examples, like I have so many people who don't respond. Like I'll do customer care so well and they just don't respond a lot. And that doesn't mean I did anything wrong, but now with this girl, she's like a rare, like she's talking to me every day. Like she's the one messaging me. Like this, it doesn't happen a ton. But when it does, like you definitely want to like focus a lot of your energy on that. And I feel like it's kind of similar with Emily's, like we can tell like this is a special person because they're like they're coachable, they're listening. And to know that like if you have those people that like you have like this amazing customer care and like they don't say anything, like that's normal. Like that happens a lot. But anyway.
Do y'all have any questions for us on duplication? Tonight was specifically how do we have customers turn into somebody who wants to go silver, but do y'all have any questions for us? I know it's getting late, but we really want to help y'all.
I think the last thing I'll say is something I really love is that, like Joanna said, all 3 of us have very different personalities and we have different ways of running our businesses. And we all have gotten to the top of the company. So I really like that because it's not one set way or one set personality, or you have to say these things and you have to drive the conversations this particular way. It's not that way, but it's showing up and being the example and just really trying to learn and grow together.
Come on, I love questions. I would rather do questions than talk. Okay, seriously, are there no questions?
Bethany just asked, do you always mention the biz opportunity to all of your customers just once, or how often would you mention it? Jordan, you want to answer that one since you love questions?
Listen, y'all, they wanted to do a customer care call. And I say, if y'all do a customer care call, I'm out. I don't do customer care. And they were like, yes, you do. I was like, no, I don't. I'm really bad at it. Silver is my customer care. Um, I I do ask most of my people if they want to share. And 90% say no. 10% do.
I bring up the
And
referral bonus. I think that's a really great verbiage because it's not scary. It's not like, hey, do you want to start a business? But hey, Plexus has a really incredible referral bonus program where you can earn, $300 in your first month by helping a couple people. Is that anything that you might be interested in learning about?
And I say that too, or I'll say like, hey, I know when I started, like I couldn't afford the products. And so like my first goal was to get them paid for. I grabbed my mom and some friends to do it with me. Would that be something you'd want me to help you do? Depending on like the person. Cause if I know like most people's budgets are tight. So sometimes I just do that.
see, I'm like, if they share one with me, I'm like, you want to make big money or just like little money? And then I send the little like the income graphic. And they're like, big money. Okay, let's do that. Yeah.
What do y'all do? Like, if people say they'll make a post, and then even if you write up a post for them and then they don't ever post it, like, how many times do you follow up with them about that? Because I feel like I'll ask some people, especially after wins and stuff, and then shoot them an example of something, and they'll be like, yeah, I'll post it. And then they don't.
Have you
Yep.
bribed them?
Yes.
I know that sounds terrible, but I remember I've done this a lot. If somebody is like, I want to go somewhere, I'm like, okay, well, I'll send you 20 bucks when you do. Or make that post and I'll send you 20 bucks, or I'll send you a coffee card. Like, I'll buy you a necklace. I don't even care. I will bribe people to diamond.
I told someone that if they put it on their stories, I'd give them $5 to Amazon. And if they did it on their feed, I'd give them 15, and they did not do it.
Or they're just
I
not
mean,
the right person.
but you don't want to drag somebody, because even if you like help
For
them
sure.
get to silver, you don't want to drag them to gold. You want people who want this. So
Okay, you can bribe them once. Just don't keep bribing them.
But just like how, I mean, yeah, I definitely don't want to like drag anybody, but I mean, I feel like that happens to me more often than maybe to other people. I don't know. Maybe it happens all the time to everybody. I don't know. It's like, do you like how, like, I don't know, when do you follow up, or like how often then do you follow up? Like,
I
do you
think
keep,
I don't know all your situations, but I think if it were me and if I were to say, hey, like if I don't know that have they told you they want to make money with this, or have they just shared their story and you're encouraging them to share?
no, they have not said they want to make any
Yeah.
money.
So I think for me, I probably would just say, Becca, your story is amazing. Like, I think first I would ask, would you be open to sharing? Just like I shared with you in my deal. And if they say yes, then, or I don't know, your thing is that you have sent them message examples or post examples and they're not responsive. I think I don't know. To me, I feel like if I've reached out to them a couple of times about it and they're not responsive to me, that silence is their answer. And I'm going to get back into the cycle of customer care, where I'm building my relationship, building my belief, showing my appreciation for them. And then maybe in a couple of months, after I know more of their wins and they don't feel pressured for me, then maybe I might bring it back up again.
Or I feel like too, that's when you could say, hey, you've had amazing results. Like, do you have anyone in mind who would love this too? Because I would love to send them a few samples to try.
Somebody else asked, what's your favorite reach out message? We didn't talk about this here because we're talking about customers into silvers, but I reach out for the business a lot. I would say the majority of my messages I share with the business first, which I do believe goes into why I was able to help 7 people go silver, because I literally come to them for the business first. They know about the business ahead of time. And so I mean, I had one the other day. I was like, hey, you're a mom? I'm a mom. I just had a baby. You just had a baby. Have you ever thought about doing something from home like what I do? And she was like, actually, kind of, yeah. It's like, okay, well, let's talk about it. So just don't make it weird. That's my suggestion.
Or I just signed someone up who I had reached out to her a year ago about the products, and like I think she said no, thank you. And then I saw her like she was liking some of my like business posts. And so I reached back out to her about the business with a voice text. And she was like, yeah, actually a free trip sounds amazing. And so she just signed up. She's not like doing the business yet, but we got talking about her health goals and she need like all these things. And she's so excited to like get healthy now. And maybe she'll never do the business, but just even like if you reached out to someone before about the products and never about the business, like try circling back around. You never know.
I think this is a really good question from Kimmy Million. And I think this is something that a lot of people, especially in the beginning, struggle with. I say way too much to people, too much detail. How can I train myself to stop talking?
Lauren Davis, are you able to talk? You know the answer to that question. If she can't, I think her screen's off, so she might. Wait to see if she turns it on. No. Okay, what I do is I just ask questions. Instead of talking, just go ask questions. They don't need to know all the things. So when you feel like sharing everything you know, stop yourself and say, go reread what they said. Be a human. And if they just gave you all these symptoms, go be like, oh my gosh, I had no idea you were dealing with this. That sounds terrible. What is that like for you? What is that? What are your days like? And if somebody goes in and asks about the business, be like, well, I want to share all the information with you, but like, tell me why you need this business. What would that do for your family? What kind of stress would that take off? What kind of vacations would you go on? Like, when in doubt, go ask questions.
Yeah, that's fine. Hi, this is Kenny. That is great. The main thing, Jenna, can you turn it down just a little bit? That I was asking about was, so I have a gal that I'm chatting with right now. She's kind of interested in that. So here's the fear behind that is that, and it's totally fear. I admit that is that if I don't tell them like, oh, you can make this money, but you got to keep your sub on, in order to make, just those little details that I feel like will come up later. You know what I mean? And I'm always afraid, okay, they're going to get mad at me if I don't,
I think you take it one step at a time. You
okay.
take it one step at a time. Hey, this is the potential money that you could make this month. Is this something they say yes? Then one step at a time. When it gets to that point where she needs to know that, then you can tell her that. And I put in the chat too, making sure you're utilizing third-party tools. Making sure that you're utilizing the third-party tools will also help you from talking so much. And that's going to make you feel better. So listening, asking questions, utilizing third-party tools, and then waiting until they actually need that information. Because right now she doesn't need that information. If she's not getting to silver, if she's not started duplicating, she doesn't need to know all the details. That's my thought.
Casey asked about launch events. I am still doing old school Facebook events. And here's the thing. Some of them are great. Some of them aren't as great. But either way, I had them sending messages, following up, doing a scary thing successfully, and I built their confidence in the process. And so I still do old school Facebook launch events. In fact, I did 2 last month, and both girls hit new ranks last month. So I don't know. Is anybody else? Yeah, Jordan Gibson, will you tell us about your launch Zooms? She does these all the time. Like, I'll just get a random text. She'll be like, hey, can you pop on today? I'm like, yeah, that's fine. Let's do it.
I have on Thursday. Will you help me? Yes. So instead of, it's this exact same thing as the Facebook group. I've just found I like the Facebook groups because, it's come and go. It's a lot of reading, unless, of course, people go live, and that's really fun to watch lives. But if you can get people to commit to a 15 to 20 minute Zoom, they're committed, right? Like they're at least that interested. Like there are only, I think the most I've ever had show up on these is like maybe 6. Like it's very tight knit. I give them I have this cute little slideshow I'm happy to forward. It's from our op call, but I've progressed it into just products. And so I really just cover what is gut health, why does gut health even matter, and why is Plexus the best fit for gut health. And then I talk about a few things like maybe triplex, maybe active, maybe reset. And then they get to ask all their questions live. They should leave that knowing everything they want to know about the products and such. And they've been really successful.
Okay, yes, we all want you to forward it to us. That sounds so good.
Oh, any other questions, you guys? I want y'all to walk away from here and immediately know exactly what you're going to go do. So if there's any hesitation, any question that that we can help you with, we want to help.
Hey Jordan, how often are you doing the Zoom launches?
AG,
I do it for every girl who wants to go silver. And so this girl I have is actually already silver, but she's going for senior silver and gold. And so I would love to have one once a week. That would be awesome. If, the girls, and I don't, some girls ask like, oh, I have two girls who are wanting to go silver. I'm like, do it separate, because that puts the ball in their court. If their people show up, they show up. It makes them, take hold of their business a little bit. So yeah, as often as you can.
Okay, is it geared towards customers or only people who want to do the business? What's
Definitely.
the Zoom launch geared towards?
Definitely both. More customers, because these girls are just going silver, but shoot, if they have people on for the business, awesome. When I send y'all will kind of, you'll figure it out, because it's a lot of, what is all these things about Plexus, like we're debt free, A+ BBB rating, like everything they could want to know about Plexus. I don't read it all. I'm just like, look at this. This is awesome stuff that you don't know what it means, but it's really, really good in this network marketing world. And then at the end, I always put the income graphic. And I say, I don't know if you're here for the business or the products or maybe a little bit of both, but Senior Ruby was what I looked at when I was teaching and coaching. And, here we are, Senior Ruby. And that even if they're not thinking about the business, they'll be thinking about the business. Yeah.
And then you just have Jordan pop on to share her story, or what?
Someone, yeah, whoever can share. Yeah. Jordan's super relatable. I love having her on.
Do you share your story too, Jordan Gibson?
well,
Yeah,
last
yeah.
time I did it, I literally was like, what she like was like, tell your story. I was like, well, I don't really want to tell my story. What do y'all want to know?
Oh yeah, she totally threw everyone off guard. There was only
Yeah.
two other girls on besides me, so it was like super, super intimate. Yeah.
Fun though.
I probably the best way is to do that is to send that to Jordan or Joanna
I
and
can
Emily.
forward it.
I think, yeah, okay. I'm gonna do that.
Does anybody have any other questions? I also want to, I know we need to end, but how are you guys feeling? Like, are you feeling like, okay, I can do this. I can do this. I've got some good ideas. I've got some direction. I know, like, it's doing what I do. Like, that's what it is. How are you guys feeling? I love that. Capable. Good, Brittany. How are you guys feeling? And you can be honest if you're like, I have no idea. Well, I think this is a really important part of our business, because if you're not duplicating, it's going to be really hard to grow. And so if you want to have a strong business, this is an area that we have to really, really hone in on and learn how to do this, but also not be attached, because you are going to have people that quit. Just like Joanna said, when people quit, that doesn't say anything about you. It doesn't say anything about Plexus. It doesn't say anything about our business. It's just part of it.
Okay, the last thing I'm going to tell you is I want you to go look at your Facebook right now. How many recognition posts have you made? Business posts have you made? If you have less than 5 or 10 from the whole month of last month, I want to encourage you to up it. I want people to go to your wall and say, wow, this girl knows what she's doing. This girl is doing this business and she's helping others do this business. And that's not a shame thing, right? Like there have been many months that I haven't, but the months that I do, 90 days later, I have tons of fruit. And 90 days from now, you guys, we're in convention contests. And I want y'all to have a wild contest. I want you to have so much fun, and silvers are fun and they are energy for your team. And if you want some spark plugs on your team, go create silvers. Make it your focus. What you say? Goes to Jordan's face. Go look. Go right now. Oh wait. All right. Bye.